Today, I'm going to tell a story about Michael Beinhorn from the time we worked with him in Toronto with the band Big Wreck. Yeah, that's a really good shuffle, Dave and Beinhorn. Upstairs to get my board that I use in Big Wreck to make the demos. So unsightly. I gotta move all this stuff, and I also gotta find a Big Wreck collectible for my new subscriber, and then my next new subscriber raffle. And maybe I should just get out a bunch of stuff. These are all the tapes that I transferred over the summer of early Big Wreck demos from 92 to 96 before Big Wreck. Oh yeah, Ian, Brian, and me, 93 songs, demos. Oh yeah, I posted this before. Well, we didn't have 16 songs, right? You guys tell me. This is my high school band, Hershey Squirts. I didn't come up with the name. Nathaniel did. Tape. Classic. There's a guitar here that Ian bought me for my birthday back in 99 or something like that. Dan Electro. Simple Dan Electro. I gotta get this thing out of here. Today, I'm going to tell a story about Michael Beinhorn. Michael Beinhorn is a famous producer. He produced Grandmaster Flash, Soundgarden, Brian Eno, David Bryan, Patti LaBelle, Whitney Houston, Soundgarden, Herbie Hancock. You know that song Rocket? That was all Beinhorn. Soundgarden, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Uplift Mofo Party Plan. I love that record. Soundgarden, Mother's Milk, Soul Asylum, Runaway Train, Ozzy Osbourne, Living Color, Social Distortion. Soundgarden, Hole, Pharrell Williams, Oliver Stone, Korn. Oh yeah, that album. Fuel, David Grohl, of course. Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun. Super unknown. That's why we wanted to work with him. He is awesome. He still produces to this day. I've read his book. I respect him a ton. So getting to work with him was a dream come true. In between the first and second album, we were trying to get Atlantic to let us record. They didn't want to let us in the studio and record because they didn't think we were ready. Perhaps they were right. We didn't really have a song that would be commercially successful, like that song of The Oath or Blown Wide Open. We didn't really have one of those. Around 2000, trying to get in the studio, we were getting kind of pissed off because we wanted to get in there and just do it. Like we weren't used to this, not having a single talk. During that time, Atlantic hired Michael Beinhorn to the staff because he was a hot producer, and then he came up to Toronto and worked with us for a while. He stayed at the Four Seasons, and he worked out in the morning, and then we picked him up, and we would be eating pizza and drinking beer and stuff, and he would order in some fish with rice and no oil. He was very healthy, very energetic guy. Got right to business in the studio. I forget which studio we were in. I think it might have been the Warehouse. I'm not even sure if that's a studio. It had a cool Neve board and a nice live room. So we set up the drums, got a drum sound. We did one song. We started with one song and we jammed on it. I recorded the drums. He was happy with my drums. He said, "Oh, that's a good shuffle. That's a good shuffle." He had like this New York accent energy. It was really cool. I'm I really shouldn't try to do imitations because I suck at them. Yeah, that's a really good shuffle. Yeah. So it was on to the bass, and it was just we were just messing around, seeing if our relationship would work, if we could come up with something. And he was just kind of checking us out for Atlantic to see if we were ready. So we went on to the bass. That's where the funny thing happened. Not funny for Dave. Dave is an amazing bass player. We all know he's amazing. His work on In Loving Memory of it just speaks for itself. But in this song, for some reason, probably because he was really nervous working with Michael Beinhorn, because he probably knew more about him than I did. Lucky I didn't really know much about him, because apparently he's famous for firing. Well, he is famous for firing drummers. He fired the drummer in Hole when he worked with Courtney Love and had a session guy do it. Imagine that, going into work with this guy and you know that you could be fired from your own band. Like, I can't imagine. I'm so glad that I didn't know that. Maybe Dave knew more about him than I did. And it put him in a, you know, Dave is a shy, kept to himself kind of guy. And Beinhorn was very, like, in your face, aggressive. Maybe not in your face, but like, all right, yeah, let's do the bass now. Come on, Dave, let's go. And, and he liked to have the bass play in front, which I learned from him and from other people. If you have the bass play a little bit in front of the beat, it makes the song move forward and dance a little better, and it makes it move and feel better. It just feels better if the bass is just slightly ahead of the drums. And especially when I play it kind of a little laid back in my groove. Having a bass like a little ahead would work. And I'm sure, you know, if you listen to the first record, Dave does that. He does that naturally. But in this situation, under this pressure, working with this famous name A+ guy who did Super Unknown, he got nervous, I think. And he was doing his part, and Beinhorn was getting frustrated with him because he wouldn't play in front of the beat. So he started just like snaps, like, all right, play right here, right here, right here, right here, like that. Yeah, like that. And I'm gonna use some audio of Dave and I. This is cool. Dave and I playing back in '96. This is some of the tapes that I just showed you upstairs. This is one of those tapes. It's just Dave and I playing. So I thought we could use this as an example, and you'd like to hear it because you'd never heard it before. So I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that in the background, and then I'll let it play full at the end. Yeah, he was just like, you know. You're not playing in front of the beat. Come on. You gotta come on, push it. Dave just couldn't satisfy him, so he started tapping on the board. Right here. And then he started using his whole hand on the board to get him to go into it. And then, as he got more frustrated, he started like slamming his hand on the board. And I swear to God, I don't know if Dave was really behind the beat or if he was. And when Michael Beinhorn just wanted to like make this story that could be told right now by me. Everyone loves a good story. After his hand starts to hurt, he's like, my hand's hurting. Give me a stick. I'm gonna go get a stick. He goes out and gets one of my sticks and starts hitting the board with the stick because his hand is hurting. And then he's still not getting it. It's like hours and hours and hours. It must have been 3 hours, 4 hours straight of Dave sitting right across from Michael Beinhorn, like just close together. Dave and Beinhorn sitting at the board. Beinhorn hitting the soundboard with the stick, and he kept hitting harder and harder and harder. And he's like, now my hand hurts even more. So he put like some soft thing in between his hand and the stick and duct taped his hand to the stick. Because he couldn't hold it anymore. He was hitting it for so long, for so many hours, he couldn't even hold the stick anymore. So he duct taped it to his hand and started slamming it on the freaking board. Poor Dave, can you imagine? Oh my God, what a situation to be in. I reached out to Dave and he was like, I'm like, do you have anything to add? He's like, I'd kind of like to forget that for us, please. So I feel a little guilty putting this on there. Beinhorn decided that we didn't have a song. We weren't ready to record an album. Not what we wanted to hear. Ian got quite pissed. And at the same time, Atlantic was telling him to record with Collective Soul, like get together with Collective Soul. And he was like, why would I want to work with Collective Soul? Of course, maybe it would have been a good idea. And Beinhorn told Ian to go write some more songs. Just write more songs. You're not ready. We need the songs. We need more songs. That happens to be exactly what he did with Soundgarden. When he went in with Soundgarden, if you read about it, Chris Cornell was writing for the band and he had a bunch of songs, and Beinhorn was like, these songs are great, but they're not you. Like, go write songs from your point of, like, that you want to do. Stop writing for the band, write for yourself. Chris Cornell went home and he wrote Black Hole Sun. And we didn't do that. Unfortunate. But we were stubborn. We were very stubborn. Little pricks. So that's my Beinhorn story. Please subscribe.